Hello traders, my name is Gregor Hurat and welcome to a new free video in which I want to give you an update on Bitcoin. Actually, I have sent out a newsletter nearly 3 weeks or almost 4 weeks back and highlighted contemplated movement and potential break to a new all-time high, and it appears that this is now in full progress here. So if we just review that old wave count, uh, now I have highlighted a three waves of decline and noted that market actually turned to the upside from some very important levels. So actually here's that count, and what is really interesting, probably the most important regarding this pullback that we have seen back towards $1,800 is actually that the pullback was made. Firstly, it was made by three waves. Then secondly, we had a triangle in the middle. Now, if you're familiar with the Elliott wave structure, okay, then you will know that triangles cannot be spotted in wave 2, which is part of an impulsive decline in such case. So if you see a triangle, then you know it's a wave B, and if you label wave B, then you know it's a contemplated movement. So for those who are not familiar with the Elliott wave theory, then the only thing that matters here is that once you spot with an ongoing uptrend of three waves of retracement, okay, then this should be an alert, a signal that market is ready to continue higher. Or if you see in a bear market a three wave bounce, then this should be an alert for you that market could continue and resume the downtrend. So actually I was looking here for a resumption of an uptrend to the upside, especially since market also bounced very nicely from the area of a former wave 4 swing support here. So actually we had two spikes, but what is really interesting and probably very important when it comes to trading is that firstly you want to see reaction from that levels that you are tracking before you want to go with your next prediction, your next leg. Okay, so actually I waited a little bit, and as soon as I saw this bounce, I was quite confident that sooner or later Bitcoin will hit the new highs. Actually, I did not expect that this will happen so soon. So if we load those bars here, then you can clearly see second that market is now much higher here. We have seen a break above this channel resistance line, then we have seen a pullback back towards trend line, and looks like that we are in a new impulsive leg higher. So where we go from here? Well, I think that we can go much higher. I updated the wave count. Here's the weekly chart, and actually I see waves 1, 2 pullback, and now extended wave 3. Now this appears to be some short-term mania cycle, so a lot of traders, especially those who are waiting to get into this bitcoins, uh, I'm afraid that they will jump into the fifth wave here. So rather wait on a pullback for wave 4, and as you know, as I said earlier, this could occur back to the area of a former wave 4, which is here. Okay, so we could be running into final stages of wave 3. However, that's a weekly chart. There is some room for more upside. If we take a look on the daily level, on the shorter term cycles, you can actually see that this red wave 5, which is final part of current wave 3, is still not made by 5 waves. There's some resistance at 261.8%, just beneath 4,000, but I would be looking for 4,000 up to $4,500 to be maybe a limited upside for this wave 3, and then look for a reversal into a much deeper correction. So if you're looking for some longer term opportunities, then maybe you should wait a little bit longer now, since you missed the trend here. Now on the 4-hour chart, for more short-term oriented traders, what is really interesting is that the recent pullback unfolded as a wave 4. It found a support, as I said so many times before, at the area of a former wave 4, which was here, and looks like that now we are continuing higher. So it's just a question of time when we will again hit the new highs, and in such case that would be wave 5 that would make this an extended black wave 3. So watch out for maybe $3,800 in the near term, then expect a new pullback for a wave 4, and then another push to the upside. So bottom line is Bitcoin is trading impulsively higher. We are at new highs, and there's room for much higher levels ahead. but before you want to chase this market, rather wait on a free wave retracements. And I would be looking for much higher levels as long as we are trading, let's say, above $3,000. Okay, so this would be an important level. If we see a drop beneath this, then this should be a signal that we are already in some corrective, deeper corrective phase. Okay. Um, Also, let me remind you that we opened a new absolutely free page because of huge demand for cryptocurrencies. So if you go to our homepage, ew-forecast.com, you can actually find a link here at the right at the top, cryptocurrencies free analysis. It will be updated free or maybe 2 times per week. Actually, what we cover here is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, and Dash. So you can find our views here, also long-term, shorter-term oriented. However, keep in mind that this will not be updated charts every day, but you can contact me on Twitter, and I will be glad to look into any update in a particular time. Okay, if of course if I will be available. Also, what I forgot to mention is that I don't see other cryptocurrencies following the move to the upside the same path as Bitcoin moves. Okay, so actually that's can be somehow of a warning sign. I said that we are in at the final stages of this wave three on a weekly level. So if we consider that only Bitcoin break to new highs and that maybe a resistance is coming into play and a deep retracement in the next, let's say in the next month or two, then maybe you should be aware that cryptocurrencies which did not follow so much to the upside could make much deeper pullbacks. Okay, and if you go through this charts, this analysis here on this free page, you will actually notice that there are some structures that suggest that we will sooner or later turn to the downside into a third leg of decline on some of cryptocurrencies. So make sure to check this. Okay. Okay, so on the FX board, what I want to look at is actually cable. Why cable? Because I like to show you patterns that are clear, and so far we have very clear wave structure on cable. So clearly that's a weekly chart. I'm tracking a bearish impulse in progress. Impulses are made by 5 waves, and I expect more downside because we don't see 5 waves yet. Okay, also notice that the recent bounce was made in 3 waves, and I said earlier, for those who are not familiar with the Elliott wave principle, if you see a downtrend, which clearly here is the case on cable, and then you spot a 3-wave rise, this should be an alert that market could sooner or later continue to the downside. I said earlier that market in wave 4 will retrace back to the area of a former wave 4, and notice here where we are. We made the wave 4 bounce back to the wave 4 of one lower degree. Also, what really matters here is that we spotted an ending diagonal in wave C position. This is a very strong pattern, very strong reversal pattern. It's a slow overlapping pattern. Momentum is usually very low. It's decreasing, but it will tend to increase significantly once the pattern is completed. But normally this will cause a break or a sharp move to the other side of the trend, which means in our case to the downside. So watch out for this push lower, and ideally we already put a top in place for wave C, because notice here that wave C made a similar distance compared to wave A. Okay, also market moved or turned to the downside from this upper trend line resistance, and not only that, a decline is impulsive. I can count here 5 waves down, waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and waves 5, and now this looks like a new consolidation and expect more weakness. But I would be looking for wave 2 maybe to reach slightly higher levels. The first resistance level that I would watch is maybe here at 13050, and then maybe a second resistance would be here at 131, and maybe keep an eye also on this trend line. Also, notice that market found a support here at 12930. It was former wave X. So once this level is broken, I would be expecting a drop towards the next swing low, which is at 128. But obviously I would look for much lower levels than because in that case we would already be beneath this ending diagonal trend line, which normally opens the door to the starting point of an ending diagonal, which, if you believe it or not, is right here at 1.19. Okay, Terrorists, thank you very much for your attention. Now, if you're interested in analysis like this, we are publishing intraday charts on a daily basis. We also cover a lot of different FX crosses and also Bitcoin on a daily basis on our page. So if you're interested, make sure to check our office. We have 50% off for the first 2 months. Or if you have any questions, catch me on Twitter, send me an email. Okay? Have a good day. Bye.